This month on The Spark, our theme is a collaborative approach to building success. We'll learn more about an organization building a stronger Memphis through the duplication and multiplication of principle-centered leaders, a community development organization working with partners to strengthen the Memphis Medical District, and a comprehensive, open-access, culturally diverse public two-year college that's committed to meeting the educational needs of students in our community. We'll also share a special moment from our Spark Awards 2018.
Just like having relevant and accurate information is necessary to make sound hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a sponsor of The Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.
Additional funding for The Spark is provided by Christian Brothers University, Mueller Industries, YMCA of Memphis and the Mid-South, Meriton, United Way of the Mid-South, MyTown Movers, MyTown Roofing, MyTown Miracles, and by Serves.
Ever been excited by a new idea? Inspired by watching someone lead by example? When we talk about creating change, we start by sharing the stories of everyday heroes making a difference in their own way so we can learn and do the same. This truth is the power behind this show, which is focused on business and community leaders who are leading by example to give back, fuel change, and create new opportunities for the Mid-South. I'm Jeremy Park, and this is The Spark. They're building a stronger Memphis through the duplication and multiplication of principle-centered leaders. I'm here with the Executive Director for Nexus, Heather Hunt. And Heather, let's start. 2003 was the first year formed, established. Give us a little background for Nexus.
Right. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for having me. But yes, we were founded in 2003 as a leadership program with a mentoring component. And truly, that's what sets us aside from other leadership programs is we value the mentoring relationship. And so we were founded by secular organizations as well as Second Presbyterian Church. And there were leaders that came together and saw the need to build future leaders for our city. And so we continue to stand under our mission from the beginning of the days, and that's what we do.
And at this point, almost 900 or over 900 in terms of the graduation and how many have gone through this program?
Yes, exactly. We've trained over 900 principle-centered leaders, all with the motivation to go out and lead our city.
Talk about how this works, because you're very intentional on the get-go in terms of each class and kind of the cohorts, finding not only the mentor and the protege, but a very diverse group of proteges as well. So talk about kind of that side of it.
Exactly. We really want each class to look like the makeup of Memphis. And so we intentionally go out and recruit all different races, religions, people from different sectors, for-profit, nonprofit, educators, ministry, entrepreneurs. And really, we want to bring people together that otherwise wouldn't cross paths.
And then talk about how the program works in terms of like the commitment and the structure, because you have a lot of great speakers you bring in. There's a curriculum. So I mean, it's very structured.
It is very structured intentionally. We are a 10-month program from August to May, and we have 4 different components. Being the key component is that mentor and protege relationship, and so they meet throughout the 10 months on their own to discuss goals that the protege would like to accomplish throughout that time, and then we have our monthly sessions. As you mentioned, we have key leaders that we invite to come in and speak over dinner about key principles that we feel every leader must master, as well as they share what motivates them and their path and their journey that inspire and motivate our young leaders. And then we have a curriculum, a proven curriculum that we ask both the mentor and the protege to be committed and to complete each month. And then truly, and we did this, I guess around 6 years ago, the class said, we want to learn more about Memphis and how to be involved in Memphis. And so the class decides 3 different nonprofits they want to partner with throughout the year, and then they go out and learn about those organizations and volunteer with those organizations.
Nice, I love that.
Yes.
Talk about some of your favorite parts. I know it's kind of like you can't pick your favorite child, but
Right.
talk about some of your favorite experiences with this.
Well, truly, I've been with Nexus for 11 years now, and I feel like I gain a whole new group of friends each year with each class and each cohort, and truly get to know them and what inspires them and motivates them. And I'm so excited about the young people within our city and how they want to make a difference and want to be involved and want to stay in Memphis. And truly, that's what we're all about as well.
And I think carry that forward, because you are building a stronger Memphis. And so this ripple effect, this tidal wave that's created in those that go through the program that fall in love with the city, that can see their future and start going down that path. Talk about kind of that side of this, is really how this is galvanizing and creating a stronger Memphis.
Exactly. I mean, we continue to see the impact that we have individually as well as within different companies and our city as city leaders. So it's amazing to see our graduates that were proteges in their 20s that are now leading our city, truly.
What's been some of the feedback on their end that you've received in terms of some of their favorite experiences and how it's helped to either open their eyes or to become more confident in themselves as leaders? What's been some of their feedback?
Well, I mean, as you know, Memphis, truly gives you the impact that you can make in the city. And so it's a big, small town. So having the one-on-one with key leaders, CEOs and presidents of nonprofits and companies coming in and speaking with our group each month. And as you know, they all are so willing of their time. So they stay and have those connections with individuals, as well as that mentor and protege relationship. It not only, it doesn't stop with graduation. It continues throughout.
Right. So talk about on your end some of the logistics in terms of when people need to start signing up and looking to become the protege. Talk about kind of that side of it, and then for those that want to be a mentor, kind of the intake side of this.
Right. Well, obviously, our definition of a protege is that young emerging leader that wants to build professionally and personally. And so we recruit throughout the spring for our proteges, and then in the summer, we review those applications and we look at what they describe as their ideal mentor, and then we go out and recruit that person throughout the summer.
Nice. And then where do we go to start that website, social media?
Yes.
How do we start taking some of those steps?
Yes, it's nexusleaders.org, and then we're also on Facebook and LinkedIn.
And then on your end, don't have to necessarily name names, but you can name drop if you want. But talk about some who've either gone through the program, your board. Give us an idea of some of the people who've gone through your program, who are your ambassadors and beacons, and who are really kind of pushing the Nexus brand.
Exactly. I mean, our board is a working board, and they're very dedicated as well as advocates for the program and have been longstanding board members. People like Kim Wilson Jr., who actually helped found the program, as well as Bathsheba Sams, who is our chairman and a leader at International Paper. And so truly, it's amazing to get to work with individuals like that care about our city and about the future leaders.
I think that's the key, is that you have access through Nexus to, like you said, some of the most prominent, influential leaders, not just here in Memphis, but like these are global leaders in many cases too.
Yes.
So you have access to them, and they genuinely care and have a concern to be able to train the next generation of leaders. And I think it's a cool thing for what you're doing, but it also makes a cool statement for Memphis in the sense that you have these amazing, iconic leaders who do want to pour into these young leaders to help make sure that we're creating this pipeline that's sustainable for our city.
Exactly. I mean, you said it best. They really do care, and that's the first step, as we all know.
So give us on your end, one for a protege who's coming in or a mentor, give us one of your favorite tips in terms of being successful with the program.
Well, I say it all the time, but for the proteges, be open and be honest and ask questions. You can never ask too many questions of that mentor, and really just learn from their experiences, because that's what we all want, is, to pour into somebody and teach them the things that we did wrong.
And that's great advice in general,
right,
so for everyone. So last question again one more time is website, where do we go to take those next steps?
Yes, so nexusleaders.org, and then we're also on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Heather, greatly appreciate all you do for coming on the show.
Thank you for all you do, Jeremy.
They're a community development organization working with partners to strengthen the Memphis Medical District. I'm here with the president of the Memphis Medical District Collaborative, Tommy Pacello. And let's start with define the Memphis Medical District. Let's start there. So define your territory.
Sure. And Jeremy, by the way, thanks for having me here today and talk about the work that's happened in the medical district. The medical district overall is you think about it, it's really that linchpin that sits right between the core of downtown and Midtown Memphis. And for our purposes, when we think about it, we really think about our eastern side as kind of Cleveland, the western side as Danny Thomas, Vance on the south, East Parkway on the north, and then we pick up a little bit of around the St. Jude campus with all the growth and expansion happening in that area. And the mission really of the area is that, as we've seen over the years, downtown Memphis has been on this great upward trajectory. Midtown Memphis, the same thing, with all the neighborhoods kind of clicking on all cylinders, beginning to click on all cylinders. And then we have the medical district, where we've got these 8 huge anchor institutions, 20,000 employees, 8,000 students, 10,000 people live there. And then the question becomes, how do we leverage what the anchor institutions are doing and all their employees and students and the dollars that they're spending to strengthen the communities that are between and around their campuses?
And so it's a lot of it is bringing people together and then creating a shared vision, and then also finding ways to create the opportunities to realize that vision.
How do we leverage all that stuff together? And I think that for our purpose, and when we say the name collaborative, we really mean that, in the sense that it's not just us doing anything. We bring in partnerships, because everything is easier if you've got multiple people at the table, right? And so whether it's the anchor institutions, whether it's the Downtown Memphis Commission, the City of Memphis, the various neighborhood organizations, the resident leaders in the neighborhood, all of them coming together to have a collective lift on the neighborhood. And when we do that, what we're looking at is we're trying to think about, how do we increase housing supply, and working on that. How do we strengthen the commercial corridors? How do we improve the public life in the neighborhood? Not just the public spaces, but the way people experience those spaces. How do we enhance the safety security in the district? And then also how do we think about the institutions and leveraging and capturing their value by increasing the amount of money they're spending locally with local diverse companies that they're hiring from the neighborhood, the residents in the neighborhood, and then even down to mobility and how people are getting to and from the medical district and around the district. So it's a lot going on, and we've got 23 programs that we work on that have been stood up.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You're listing those kind of programs and initiatives.
Right. Yeah, and that's just been in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about the direction everything's headed over there.
Talk about success, because you've had a lot of success in terms of growth and opportunities. So list off some of those stats.
Sure. There's a couple of things that rise to the top in the medical district right now. One is that if we look at the institutions and their spend, right, they spend about just shy of $1 billion a year on goods and services overall. And one of the things that we've been focused on is shifting that spend towards local and diverse companies. And we've seen about a 68% increase since between 2014 and 2018, a 68% increase in the amount of money they're spending locally, and 180% increase in the amount of local diverse spend.
Nice.
Spend just we're just talking about City of Memphis, but local female and minority-owned companies in the City of Memphis. That's a huge, huge shift that we're seeing. And we still got a long way to go, but the flywheel is spinning. Another thing is that we've been able to see 22 new businesses open in the medical district just last year. So what we're seeing is that we've had a really strong medical and biotech industry in the educational industry in the medical district, but now we're starting to see the neighborhood businesses come back in and create a real place there around those neighborhood serving businesses.
So how can the public help? I think it's one thing to know what's going on, to be aware. I think it's also looking for opportunities, whether it's housing, retail, restaurants. I mean, as you talk about the new businesses and the growth there, for business owners to look at that as a prime opportunity. What are some of the ways we can connect in and help your efforts?
Sure. Well, there's, I think, several. One is be engaged and come see us. Come see what's happening in the medical district. Come down and eat at the Trolley Stop and Edge Alley and some of the other restaurants that are there. Come out and come to the events. We did over 100 events in the past 3 years at the medical district that we were either directly produced or supported in some way, shape, or form. A lot of that activity is just about getting people to visit the place that haven't seen it in a while and put it back, on people's radar as a place that they can go besides for teaching, healing, and research. And so that's one thing. Another thing is that if you are interested in opening a small business, if you are looking to tap into the economic purchasing power of the 20,000 employees, 8,000 students, if you are interested in doing some sort of real estate development work, small scale or large scale, come talk to us and we can help connect you to the resources, the land, the dollars, whatever the case may be for your need to help make that happen.
What's been one maybe big thing or even small thing that's put a smile on your face when you look at the success you've been able to create and where we're headed with it?
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, the 22 new businesses starting is great. Other things that we're seeing that really make me excited is to see since we started this work in 2016, the market has really turned on to the medical district. We've seen about 678 apartments that have either started construction or be announced in the district, about 25,000 feet of new retail space, about 130,000 feet of new office space. Now, that's the beginning of that flywheel spinning. And what we see going forward, and what brings a smile to my face, is the more and more projects that are entering the pipeline to create new development opportunities in the district. We're excited about the direction that's headed.
So where do we go to find out about the events, to just tap in?
So first place is our website, mdcollaborative.org. But you can also find us on all the social media at MMDC 901.
Nice. Well, Tommy, greatly appreciate all you do and for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it.
The Spark Awards annually recognize and celebrate individuals and organizations that have made outstanding contributions to the community. This year's recipient of the Corporate Award for companies with over 500 employees is Kroger Delta Division.
The Kroger Delta Division has 101 stores in 5 states locally, in Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Kentucky, and in Missouri. So the Kroger Company just celebrated a 1-year anniversary of Zero Hunger, Zero Waste. This initiative will end hunger in our local communities and also eliminate waste in our company by the year 2025. Very excited about that. All 101 of our stores locally participate in a Zero Hunger, Zero Waste rescue program. And what this does is this helps us eliminate waste in our stores. So we'll take food that's close to expiration, that's still good, and we'll donate to local food banks in the communities that we serve. They understand the importance of it. They understand that instead of throwing it away, then we can make a difference.
Talk about your partnership with American Cancer Society.
Kroger's been a flagship sponsor of the American Cancer Society for many years. I'll tell you personally, for me, what that means. My mother died of breast cancer in 1990. She was in her 40s. It's 2018, and in our local community, we still have people that are fighting, that are suffering, that are dying. I had an opportunity about 3 years ago to be a part of the Real Men Wear Pink campaign for the American Cancer Society, and this is actually going to be my 3rd year. The overarching theme on that is to raise awareness. Think about during the month of October, you see men wearing pink ties and pink shirts and pink socks, and it'll start conversation.
Talk about community rewards, over $1.5 million.
$1.5 million just right here in the Delta Division. You think this money goes to assist churches and schools and nonprofit organizations. If you're a 501c3 registered nonprofit organization, you absolutely should be a part of this fundraising opportunity. I love to see local products on our shelves. So our program, which is Discover Local, really provides an opportunity for local businesses and farmers to get product into our stores. We work with many farmers and suppliers, both in the communities and around the communities that we serve, to get their products in our store.
When you look at overall the things that Kroger's involved with, that you personally are involved with, what puts a smile on your face?
I've worked for this company for 34 years. Right out of college, started working for Kroger, and I know how much they care. Kroger wants to be a great community partner. And we do things not because we want to get credit for it, we do it because it's the right thing to do, and it's what we should be doing in our community, for our customers and for our associates.
They're a comprehensive, open access, culturally diverse public two-year college that's meeting the needs of our students and our community. We're here with the president of Southwest Tennessee Community College, Dr. Tracy Hall, and also the Dean of College, or Dean of Business and Technologies, Dr. Robin Cole. So how are you two doctors doing?
Oh, just wonderful. Thank you, Jeremy, for having us here. And you kind of stole what I was going to say about Southwest.
Hey, well, that's part of the lead-in, right?
Yes, that was great. Well, yes, we are so happy to be here to talk to you about Southwest Tennessee Community College. As you know, we are practically everywhere. We have 5 locations, actual physical locations that we own, as well as 2 other sites that are in Millington and in recently have partnered with UT Martin to have a site in Somerville.
Nice.
So we are everywhere, and we have over 13,000 students that we serve, credit and non-credit students, over 120 programs that we offer. But I'm really wanting to focus on our workforce development arm. Many people think that when we talk about workforce development, this is new for Southwest. It is not.
Right.
When community colleges were created, that was our purpose. So we're not new to workforce development conversation. We know what we're talking about. This is what we do. In fact, not only at the local level are we very engaged in workforce development and understand what businesses and industries need, because that's what we are created to do, and we have to know that. But also, I recently returned from a conference, the American Association for Community Colleges. It represents over 1,100 community colleges, and the focus of that conference and all of our AACC conferences is workforce development. And so we know workforce development. Cities all across America work closely with their community colleges because they understand the value and they rely on us to help to grow the workforce. And I'm pleased to be able to do that here in Memphis, and would like to do even more of that.
Well, and talk about, because one of the neat things is you have a program, A Career in a Year. And so you've been able to literally put everything you need to know in a short amount of time so that you can get them into the workforce and train properly. So talk about Career in a Year, because I think this is a big game changer.
Yes, absolutely. So when we talk about Career in a Year, again, this is a new marketing tool where we're really marketing our Career in a Year programs, but we've always had programs that range from 2 years, 3 years to months. And so these career programs are the Career in a Year. You do not have any excuses. Anyone, there are no excuses about not coming back to college, because there are these career programs that you can get in, you can get your credentials and go to work. Career in a Year.
Yep. And talk about some of the different paths, because it's a very diverse spectrum.
Correct. It's a wide, diverse spectrum. But when you look at some of our programs that we're really concentrating in, you're talking about advanced manufacturing. You know, that's a field where now you can go work for companies like KTG, which produces White Cloud toilet tissue, and Hershey, and all these different plants, and you really learn how to get in there, understand the processes. And you're talking about earning $20, $25 an hour, entry-level wages, getting trained by our faculty that are coming from industry, have their expertise and have been there, and be able to share that, as well as machinists, individuals that make medical devices. You're talking about Wright Medical, you're talking about also working with Smith & Nephew, and these are other opportunities as well where you really learn those skills, be machinists. Once again, learning at $25 to $35 an hour, more than a living wage, and really getting trained to get trained in a year, go in there and work, and then can continue on your education even after you get that certification.
I think that's a big plus, is that they're being trained by those who are working in the paths and the fields. And so you have the professionals training the students using the technology, and so it's a real world application all the way through.
Absolutely. And so if there is the feeling that our educators don't get it, that's a misguided feeling, because our career and technical faculty come from business and industry. If anything, we have to work with them on teaching and how to teach and learning about pedagogy, but they understand because they've come from industry. And so they do get it. We do speak the same language as business and industry because we have the faculty working in the classrooms.
Right. And they have those relationships with those individuals as well. Coming from the industry, we have relationships with these companies in the industry, within the field, and they know our students, they know our programs, and we're proud of what we're doing there at Southwest Tennessee Community College.
And I think a big part of this too is you've been very, very successful in growing the number of graduates, and then when you look at the application and the transition to four-year universities, that's another growth area for you. So all the way through from Career to the Year, or Career in a Year, to being able to transition, you're doing a really good job of lifting on all sides.
Yes, thank you. And it's the career pathways. Again, this is nothing new for us, career pathways. We've always been about pathways because we understand that our students will get on board for education, and then they will go and get a career, they'll go and work for a while, and they may want to come back and increase their credentials, increase their education. And so pathways, again, that's been something that we've always focused on. How can we have the on and off ramps for students? Because we know that life gets in the way sometimes. Yes, we would say in the past, you would say, you know, go straight to a four-year education, but that's not necessarily what happens for students. They have to have a way to get on and off, and community colleges have always been that path for students that want to do that.
So how can we help? How can the public help? I mean, raising awareness, talking about Career in a Year and those pathways, talking about the opportunities. How can we help though?
Well, I think the exposure. I think so. One of the things when we talk about a shortage of workers, what we don't always talk about is that students sometimes are not exposed to these careers. So if you talk to young children, they'll talk about they want to be a basketball player, they want to be a doctor or a lawyer. These are careers that they have been exposed to. But when you start talking about welders and machinists, they've not been exposed. And so we have to do more to help students to see, here are other career options. This is what they make, because money is a big attention getter. And so we tell them about what the careers are and how much they can earn with these careers, and that it does not take 4 years to get the job.
All right, so the last question is always the easiest. Where would you direct us? Website, social media, phone number, where do we go to learn more?
Well, first of all, you can call us at 901-333-5000. You can also reach our website at southwest.tn.edu, and we're also on social media.
Facebook and Twitter, both at Southwest TN. So it's real easy to remember, just at Southwest TN on Facebook and Twitter. We're on all social media platforms.
Well, Dr. Hall, Dr. Cole, thank you for all you do, for coming on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate you.
If it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a collaborative approach to build success for our community. The more we work together and each bring our strengths, expertise, and resources to the table, the more we can solve problems and create new opportunities that will benefit us all. And the more we can mentor and guide our youth and next generation of leaders, the more sustainable and long-lasting our efforts will become. Here in Memphis, we're fortunate to have so many organizations taking a collaborative approach like Nexus, which is encouraging and equipping the next generation of leaders through proven mentoring, teaching, and service. The Memphis Medical District Collaborative, which is working with stakeholders and partners to make the area more livable, vibrant, and safe. And Southwest Tennessee Community College, which is offering a high quality and affordable post-secondary education while engaging companies to make sure students are prepared to enter the workforce with successful employment. So thank you for watching The Spark. To learn more about each of the guests, to watch past episodes, and to share your stories of others leading by example, visit WKNO.org and click on the link for The Spark. We look forward to seeing you next month, and we hope that you'll continue joining with us to create a spark for the Mid-South.
Just like having relevant and accurate information is necessary to make sound hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a sponsor of The Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.